All right, with me now is Avis Jones-DeWeever. She's a political and social commentator. Avis, I got to ask you, first of all, how you're feeling right now.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic. This has been a marathon, and for the Harris campaign, a very accelerated marathon. But I believe that she's going to shock the world today, and we shall see.
We shall. The final pitches couldn't have been more different. I want to play a little bit of sound from Donald Trump last night. Let's listen.
She's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy bitch. Oh, no. It starts with a B, but I won't say it.
So that was former President Trump talking about Nancy Pelosi. For her part, Kamala Harris didn't even mention Trump's name in the final day of campaigning. Their campaign wanted to leave on a final note of positivity. Who had the stronger close, and what did their final remarks tell you about the confidence of each candidate going into today?
The final remarks tell you who they are. And I think there is no more wiser statement than to say that the presidency reveals who the person is. Kamala Harris was right to not mention Trump yesterday. There's no need to mention a clown, okay? Now, when it comes to what we know about Donald Trump, he is the king of projection. So when he's talking about people being crazy, when he's talking about people being evil, it's really a mirror that he is casting to the world. And I think, honestly, I have to believe that there are enough people in this nation who are tired of seeing this clown show and who do not want this excuse of a man to represent this nation on an international scale, not to mention the ridiculousness that he would bring to the Oval Office and his administration. It would be a disaster to this nation if he were to win. But the reality is we know who he is, right? That when he loses, he's going to claim that he won. The good thing is that we've seen that before. He's played that card before. There have been safeguards put in place. People are ready for his shenanigans. And he's going to have to face the music. And that means for him a future that, in fact, might even mean the inside of a jail cell.
Avis, let's talk about the gender divide. It is real. Joe Rogan, who has millions of listeners for his podcast, at the 11th hour endorsed Donald Trump late last night, overnight. And he said that, for the record, yes, he is endorsing Trump. This was after a conversation that he had with Elon Musk. Of course, we know that Musk is a big supporter of Trump. One thing that the Trump team has done very effectively is appeal to young men in a way that Harris has not. What is your take on that? And what do you think about Joe Rogan coming out, with hours to go before people heading to the polls? Will it make a difference in this hinge election?
That is an unknown factor, not just his endorsement in the 11th hour, but also the fact that you are exactly right. The Trump campaign has very strategically targeted the quote unquote bro vote, going after that whole bro cast of podcasters who have found a way to monetize hating women, right? And that actually is their only path to victory, given the fact that so many women will be coming out today to be able to protect their own rights and to be able to save their own lives. And so I understand that what he's looking to do is he's looking to expand the electorate among young men who maybe are infrequent voters and therefore would not have shown up in any of the polling. So he's looking to expand his reach there. He might expand it by some. But I also believe that he's going to have to expand it by enough to overcome the overwhelming majority of individuals in this nation who are most likely to vote, okay? Your more likely voters, generally speaking, in every election are women. Your more likely voter, generally speaking, every election are older people. Your most likely voter in this nation specifically are Black women. And so when you think about the coalition that's being pulled together through the very strategic Harris campaign, they have been able to stitch together not only these constituencies that are the most likely voters, but they've also been able to very effectively reach out to sentient beings who happen to be Republicans and are saying, hey, I'm not down with this program. And so she's bringing along Republicans who have never voted Democratic before and understand that to do otherwise would be choosing blind loyalty to a wannabe dictator over the future of this nation. And because of those reasons, I don't believe there are enough bro votes in this world who will actually show up. I mean, there's a lot of people that have a lot of mouth, have a lot of time, you know, like popping their lips, but getting them to actually show up is the thing. All of those things, along with the much better ground game that the Democrats have, I think still in the end give them the edge.
All right, I've got a few seconds left. How will you watch tonight? What are you going to be watching for?
I am going to be watching for states like North Carolina, states like Georgia. I believe that if they come in earlier, which they are projected to do because of some changes that they made in their county, if they come in earlier for Harris, that's going to bode well for the entire rest of the evening for her.
Avis, thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. I'm booking you for tomorrow, if you don't mind. And we'll see you in 24 hours or so.
All righty, sounds great.
You take care.